If I waited to be perfect to start something, I would absolutely never get it started. And I would never finish it. And that's the thing about human beings. We love to start a whole bunch of things, especially me. I love to like create and do new things all the time and overwhelm myself. And then I have trouble finishing the stuff. But guess what? Guess what? I'm going through the February 2025 transmission that I downloaded this week. And there's a blog that you can go to and read about, but I want to dissect it this episode. It doesn't seem that I'm not sure if we're actually streaming because it doesn't seem to be going here on Facebook anyway. Okay. We will just go with it. Okay. And how many of you are wanting to complete multiple projects that have been hanging around for maybe 3 years, maybe 3 months, or even 3 days? I have the same problem, and I want us to go into it this month because we can actually help each other. You can ask for help this month to get these things done. You can make a commitment that you're not going to start any more projects until you get this stuff done. And it's a prime time to access the energies of February 2025 to help us get some momentum, to unlock strategies that are helping you with your success. And I want to go through the blog. I want to unpack it in this episode because getting help is hard for some of us, and we're used to figuring it out on ourselves. And when you have like a niggling or a feeling like, oh, I don't feel good enough to do this right now. I don't want to feel this way and have to get this done. I want to wait till I feel better. That's a sign that you actually should do it anyway. Push yourself a little bit. Take a nap and then do it. Something, meditate for 20 minutes, close your eyes, and then do it. Because I wasn't feeling great yesterday. For some reason, my body was just I had acupuncture the day before and my body was adjusting to a change and I didn't feel great, but I had a lot of things on my to-do list that I wanted to get done. And I had to have like a hour lunch break to really get myself into the motivation to get it all done. And then I did it. And I feel so much better. And so there is something about this month that we can harness momentum to get success, to achieve success. And, also this month, what's coming up that we need to watch out for is not moving forward because we're afraid of being rejected. This is an old story of mine, and maybe you have this story as well, so you could type it in the comments that yes, fear of rejection. And when you're an entrepreneur, fear of rejection is like gonna slow you down. If you're afraid of everybody telling you no, you're never going to get anywhere because you're never going to take a risk and offer people how you can be of service. And your purpose is your service. And I was an accountant. I never had to like solicit clients. They just were there. It just happened. But in this profession, people need to know what I do. I'm a life and business shaman. I help people with their purpose. And I signed up for a project last year with Melissa Keenan of Heart Open Publishing to create a multi-author book. It was my idea of creating a book to bring together powerful women who resonate with the priestess energy. And I know lots of women who would do that, and I need to reach out to them and connect with them to see if they'd like to get into the book. But I was really grappling with, like, how do I reach out? How do I tell them that they are perfect for this book? How do I move forward with this fear of rejection coming up every time I would think of somebody who would be like perfect, who would love to be in this book? But I would be like, they'll probably say no or make an excuse. I wouldn't move forward. And so it would stop me from having any success. And then all of a sudden, Melissa came up with this idea to bring in somebody, another Jennifer, of course, and she's also a shaman, to help co-lead this book, to help bring other, a greater access to more women who might want to be in this project with us. And it's a collaboration, and it's something that will benefit every woman in it. It's like a mastermind of priestesses coming together to create a multi-author book that can maybe transform the paradigm of the world around feminine leadership and spiritual authority of the feminine. And so I said, yeah, let's bring her in. And then immediately I had 2 women that I had been talking to get into the book and sign up for the book. And so it gave me a little bit of momentum to get somebody else to come in to help in a team collaborative way. So really this month in February, there is a lot of support out there if you can ask for help and if you can let go of your fear of rejection. And the fear of rejection is just another way to stay small and play it safe, because if I never ask anybody to join the book, then I'll never get rejected. Then we'll never write this book. We'll never collaborate and grow on a bigger platform. And so don't follow in my footsteps. Get help. Transform this fear of rejection. And that's the important details section of the February transmission. So another thing about the transmission in shamanic realm is when these things come up where you're like, oh, fear of rejection is coming up for me. I don't feel like doing this right now. Or something is happening around you and it's negative and you don't like it. There's this old shamanic practice that my teachers taught me of saying, so what? Oh, well. Big deal. And not letting it interfere with you and cause a whole big story of a process, and I have to practice this. I have to solve this before I can move forward. No, solve it on the go. Get some help from other people so you can keep solving it on the go, so that the momentum of creating some success, little successes can turn into big successes. And it's like the racehorse who all of a sudden, was racing in a class that's too tough for him, but we drop him down and we put him into a class that's easier, and he wins and he gets some confidence, so that when he goes in the next race, he's got the confidence to win again. And the driver has the confidence. So just asking for help, getting somebody to join in with you, like a mentor or a coach or a collaborator, to help you get the confidence, cultivate the momentum you need to have some little wins that turn into big wins. So that's an important detail this month. And February, I'm not an astrologer and I'm not reading anybody else's forecast. I'm just tuning into what's going on for me and transmitting that out to you from this transmission. And so there's also these stumbling blocks that we need to watch out for this month around the ego. Being entrepreneurs, I know a lot of successful people out there, business owners. I've worked for lots of business owners in my accounting world. Business owners like to figure it out for themselves. They don't always want to get help from other people. And I've seen a lot of business owners, cheap out on getting the help and then pay more for it later. So watch your ego show up to you when you start. Well, everyone's a business coach nowadays, or I can do this all by myself. I have the skills and the talent. Just notice yourself saying these things to yourself instead of, going towards, what can I learn here? Is this my ego getting in my way? Do I have a blind spot that I need somebody to help me see? Because we all can't see our blind spots, even myself. But there's the difference between wanting to get the help for the blind spot, and then there's also being blindsided. People offering you the help and you're not looking for it. So, just paying attention to where you're getting triggered during this month, how your ego is showing up, because it'll show up in many ways when you start to feel criticized, when you start blaming, complaining, feeling not good enough. What's the other one that happens all the time? Oh, because, high achievers, many of you are high achievers, and asking for help is hard because we have had a lot of success figuring it out already. Like, we've had success, we have figured things out by ourselves. And so when someone criticizes you or gives you feedback that you weren't looking for, and all of a sudden something turns up where you're feeling, well, why should I even bother? I'm not good enough anyway. You start swinging between this, I'm not good enough, why bother? Everyone else is doing it anyway, why bother? Does this story sound familiar to you at all? If it does, put a yes in the comments. And then this month you can also access the momentum as soon as you realize that you have been praying for this all along. Like, you have whatever is coming up for you, whatever you want, you have been praying for it. You have been meditating on it. You have been contemplating it. You have been wanting it for a long time. You have been creating vision boards. You have been envisioning it, dreaming about it. Believe that the universe knows this, that the infinite intelligence of the universe is aligning you with all the right people, with all the right books to read, with all the right help in the physical world and in the invisible world, so that you can align with what you want. You just have to be on the lookout for it, because what is seeking you, you are also seeking. And we have to be able to see it and notice it. And we can't do that when we're not present, when we're worried and frustrated and irritated, when we're in the fear of rejection or being criticized, the blame game, the gossip game. We have to, keep ourselves put together so that we can see the opportunities when they come. And then you're creating more momentum for yourself that leads to successful steps. And I like that this month is, you don't have to have everything perfect. Do it anyway. I don't have this episode perfect. I'm doing it anyway. I know that I want to talk about the transmission. I'm doing it. I'm reading my notes a bit. I don't have everything memorized. And you can criticize me, and I can say, so what? So do it anyway, even if you don't have it perfectly together. You're not ready. You're scared. You think you need to learn more or have better skills at something. Try it anyway. Do it anyway. And then align with collaborators, people who also are experts at things that you don't know. You can learn from them if you hang out with them. You got to hang out with people who are more powerful than you and really good at other things that you're not. And then you can create, even more. I'm reading this book right now, The Psychology of Wealth by Napoleon Hill, which is a combination of two books. And the first book is The Master Key of Riches. And it keeps going on about definite of purpose, going the extra mile, and positive mental attitude. These three principles are, keep coming up in every chapter. And it's from like the late 1900s or early 1900s. And it talks a lot about the industrialists and the men who had a lot of success in building industry, like Henry Ford. And, he knew he wanted to build an automobile. He figured it out, and he didn't have any capital, anything. He couldn't do it all by himself. He didn't create Ford, the whole mass industry of Ford, all by himself. But he started with something that he knew that he was onto something. The actual physical horse being the mode of transportation was changing, and cars were going to be the next big thing. And he knew this, and he stuck with that. He didn't know how he was going to get it all done, and he didn't know how he was going to impact the world with it. But he knew this definition of his purpose, that he needed to do this. And every one of you knows this about yourself too. Just like I know that I need to help people do what they're born to do. I don't know why. I don't know how. I can't see the impact down the line. I know that I need to be in this multi-author book, collaborating with 25 other women who resonate with the priestess energy and the spiritual authority that needs to be reclaimed in the world. I don't, the idea came in. I know that I'm supposed to collaborate with all of these women. I don't know who the women are all right now. I know some of them, but I know that there's going to be a major impact, potentially a paradigm shift. So whatever that thing that is niggling at you, that is unfinished and you need to get it completed this month, you have the opportunity to do it. You just have to decide to make it important enough to get done. And also ask for the help and collaborate with the right people who show up to support you. I've had a lot of people show up in my field lately who are supporting me. One of them's Summer. Her community has really opened up my access to more people in my community. One of them is Melissa, the publisher of the book. And another one is going to be this other Jennifer that is co-leading with the book. And then there's also other people in my world that have been, just opening doors for me. Connie, Paige, I'm just giving out first names here. You all know who you are. We're all expanding our realms around each other by collaborating with each other. And that's creating a momentum in all of us. It's creating an internal momentum that is pulling our purpose forward into the world in the present moment. So I know that there's this energy when you collaborate with people who are all on the same train. We're all on the same tracks going towards the same thing, which is having an impact that is for the best, for the better, for the good. We don't have it all figured out 100%, but we figure it out along the way by helping each other. And so I'm going to post the link for the blog in the comments so that you can read the whole blog and look at it that way. And this episode is just to support that and to unpack it. And thanks for everyone who came to watch it live, and thanks for coming to the recording. Have a great day.